Okay. So in today's part of the lesson, we are going to discuss about biodiversity majorly. Okay. I guess you all have learned this word earlier, biodiversity. You must have heard about this. You know what is biodiversity? Okay. See, if you split up the word simply, okay. So it's like you can talk about bio and diversity. Okay. Diversity means differences or variations, and bio means life. So all around us, you see lots of diversity with respect to the various life forms, correct? So it's like when you look around us, you find so many different types of plants, so many different types of animals, birds, microorganisms. Even we all human beings are so different from each other, though we all belong to the same species. So that means in the nature, when it comes to living organisms, there is a huge variations which is observed. That is called biodiversity. Okay. Okay. Dipali, are you there? You're not seen on the screen. Yes, Dipali. Okay. See, biodiversity is a very important part of the environment. In the beginning of this lesson, we had seen something called biotic component and abiotic component. You remember that? Right? Biotic component means the living organisms which form a part of the environment. Okay. So when you talk about living components, okay, there cannot be all the same, because if all the living beings are the same, it's like imagine around you, around us, if all human beings will be exactly the same, kaisa lagega? Like if I'm taking an online class, I tell the students to share the videos, everybody is looking the same, it will be difficult, correct? That's a practical difficulty. But in the nature, biologically, if everything is the same, it can create a problem when it comes to any kind of a disease or a calamity which everybody will have to face. Variations होने का reason क्या है कि whenever there are variations, that leads to competition, and because of the competition there will be differences. So one will win, one will lose. So the one who wins and survives will propagate further. Their next generations will be better. That's how evolution works. But if everything is the same, it will be not possible, right? So that is the main importance of this biodiversity, which is given rise to by the environment. So in order to define biodiversity, you can say like this: the variability among the living organisms from all sources, including terrestrial, marine, and other aquatic ecosystems, and also the ecological complexes of which they are a part. That includes diversity within species, between species, and also of ecosystems. Okay, so this becomes a proper definition. It's not just about the different types of species around us. Even within species, there is diversity. Like I told the example of human beings. Okay, between species there is diversity, within species there is diversity, between different ecosystems there is a diversity. So variations exist at every level. Okay, this definition was decided at the UN Earth Summit, which is nothing but the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, which was held at Rio de Janeiro in 1992. It was an international conference attended by members and experts from different countries, and they had started like the proper significance of biodiversity was highlighted over here, and this definition was put forward. So like this, a lot of environmentalists and experts from around the world, they speak about biodiversity and they highlight the importance of this for everyone. Okay, understood the meaning definition properly?
Yes.
Okay, so now when you know what is biodiversity, it has to be understood why it is important to study about biodiversity. Like you look around in the sky, you find lots of diversity, the differences in the types of birds that you see. But how it is important for me? You see lots of variations with respect to the flowering plants, the flowers, the fruits, the seeds. But why it is necessary for me? तो इसका importance भी जानना जरूरी है, right? Not only for human beings, but even for the environment, right? Say this first example. Just because there is diversity, observe this figure carefully. There is this type of a bird which is called as the warbler. Warbler नाम का bird है. But here in this picture, there are three types of warblers which are shown. One is the Cape May warbler. Second one is the bay-breasted warbler. And the third one is the yellow-rumped warbler. Okay. Why it is shown? Because you can see one coniferous tree, a gymnosperm called as the spruce tree over here. These three different types of warblers, they make their nest in three different parts of the same tree. Okay, like this Cape May warbler prefers to live at the uppermost part. Okay, this bay-breasted warbler lives in the middle part, and the yellow-rumped warbler lives in the lower part. So what is this picture trying to tell? That because there is diversity in their variety, in their habitat, in their feeding types, they are able to survive together in one tree. So diversity has led to this kind of variation. So these three as such do not have any competition. Okay, so they have their own ecological role and a niche. This word is called as a niche. This means how a particular organism or a species has got some significance in the environment. And that's called ecological services also. Ecological service means like how one organism becomes useful for some other organism. So how this tree, one tree, has become useful for three different types of birds. That's an ecological service. So biodiversity की वजह से this is possible. Okay, so there are plants, there are birds, there are animals which are responsible for breaking open the seeds, feeding on the content so that the seeds can germinate. There are birds like this, as you can see, it is catching a reptile in its mouth. So it feeds on the reptile and it is able to continue the food chain. There are animals which are able to transfer the seeds from one place to another. So animals and plants especially, they help each other in every way. You must have seen animals like squirrels. They pluck the fruits, they cut the seeds, they throw it somewhere, or they themselves burrow it under the ground. So it becomes useful for the plants to grow. That's an ecological service. Okay, understood the first point? Okay, then next one. You must have seen something like this. Some tribal people, if you go to any forest area at some place, you know very well there are people who are tribals who live near the forest and they are dependent upon the forest for their products. They directly get the food materials from the forest, they use it for their own consumption or they sell it for their own livelihood. So that means the natural products obtained from the forest areas become the food products by the tribals. So because there is biodiversity and there is a proper flora and fauna available, these tribals are able to survive. Okay, and whenever we as a tourist, we go to such places, we prefer to buy such products from them, natural products, because we feel that it is completely pure and completely directly obtained from the nature, which in the city areas we don't get. So tribals are able to support their livelihood because of that. We are paying them, we are buying it from them. That's another importance of biodiversity. So if you are able to preserve and conserve the biodiversity, it helps these tribal people also. Is it clear? Okay, that was the second importance. Going on to the next one. Okay, there are many points like this. So the third point is, you know very well, from the nature, from the wildlife, you get many important products besides the food. Okay, you must have seen something like this. like there is
Yes.
this kind of resin, okay, there is a rubber latex, okay, this kind of honey is obtained, okay, this kind of gums are developed, ये सब हमें plant से मिलता है. So all these products you get it from the wild, so they are commercially important. Commercially important means these people they can sell it and they can earn money out of it. And ये कहाँ से मिलता है हमें? From the nature. So obviously we can use them, but one has to ensure that you are not removing completely 100% from the wild. Otherwise you will harvest everything from the wild and it will be gone. फिर आगे वाले generation को नहीं मिलेगा. So if you are depending upon the nature or the biodiversity for all this kind of products, we have to be ensuring that you are using it in a sustainable way. Sustainable way matlab you are using it today, at the same time preserving it for the future generations also. That's called sustainable development. Okay, that is the third point. Okay, you know this? Can you tell me what is this person trying to do?
Grinding stone.
Grinding stone. What is being ground over there?
Spices.
Spices, along with that medicinal plants, right? You know medicinal plants. Almost every plant has got some or the other medicinal value, okay, but there are some plants which has got very good high level of medicinal values in it. Those plants like say turmeric, ginger, pepper, right, clove, adulsa, ऐसे कितने सारे plants हैं which are having medicinal importance. So ये सब कहाँ से मिलता है? This is also obtained from the wild, and then we collect it and then we grow it separately. So nature has produced this. Now these properties in the plants which are medicinally useful for us, ये plants क्यों produce करते हैं? Is the plant knowing that aloe vera produce करो तो किसी का skin अच्छा रहेगा, या क्लव का oil produce करो तो किसी के दांत के दर्द में कम हो जाएगा? The plant doesn't know that. The plant is producing it for its own reason. Getting it? Because plants के लिए सबसे बड़ा challenge क्या है कि wherever they grow, they cannot move from their place. Right from the time they start germinating till the end of the life, it's the same place they have to spend. And they are constantly being attacked by infections, fungi, bacteria, virus. There are insects attacking the plants. There are other animals attacking the plants. So they have to produce something within them which will keep away these plants. And they can remain healthy. तो उन सबको दूर रखने के लिए plants अपने अंदर chemicals produce करते हैं. Those chemicals we use as medicines. Got it? So that's the requirement. That's why you obtain this medicinally important compounds from the plants. Okay, so biodiversity के वजह से we are able to use these medicinal plants to a large extent, and it also adds to the economy because there is something called medical tourism. सुना इसके बारे में? Medical tourism. See this. People from Kerala. There is something called Kerala में एक famous है Kottakkal करके. Do you know that? है ना? Ayurvedic massage. This kind of centers are there. जो Ayurvedic treatment वगैरह करते हैं. Aromatherapy. Okay, they are completely using medicinal plants for that. And people from other countries, they come to these places and they spend time in these treatment centers. So they are completely dependent upon this Ayurvedic treatments. Getting it? So इस वजह से क्या हो रहा है? We are also getting money because we are having this natural wealth in our country, and people from other countries are coming to buy. Kerala is the land of spices, you know that. So spices भी हमारे यहाँ पे कितना अच्छा मिलता है. In geography, you learn about that. All different types of resources that we have in our country. Correct? That is because of the biodiversity. Okay, that is another importance. Then next one, see this. Can you tell me what is the common point between all these plants? One word. You have bamboo, you have banana, you have pineapple, palm, hemp, jute. From all these plants, there is one thing which you get. What is that? You get fibers. Correct? You get natural fibers. Coconut fiber, you must be aware. See this. Jute ke fibers, coconut fibers. Now, all these are obtained from the nature. So from the stems of the plants, from the leaves of the plant, you get these fibers. So because plants are able to produce them, we are able to depend upon them. So natural fibers are also another importance, and we all know very well how we use these fibers in different ways. Cotton fibers, textile में use होते हैं. कहाँ से आते हैं वो? It is from the cotton plant. Cotton seed के ऊपर वो fibers होते हैं, and we use it. Getting it? So from the nature, you are getting all these products which you cannot ignore. Right, everyone? Yes. Say this.
Yes.
Tell me, what are these people carrying on their heads? ये क्या ले जा रहे हैं? कहाँ से ले जा रहे हैं? और क्यों ले जा रहे
Wood.
हैं? That is wood. Okay. Why are they carrying it? From where they have got it?
Forest area.
Correct.
Forest area.
And why are they carrying it with them?
So that they can use it for cooking.
Correct. So they use that. They use it as fuel wood, yeah, firewood. Getting it? So fuels and firewood. They collect the dry twigs and the dry wood, so that they can burn it and use it for cooking. हम लोग चूल्हा करके बोलते हैं. आज भी अगर गांव में जाते हैं तो चूल्हा जला and उसमें रोटी पकाते हैं. Getting it? That is used as a natural resource. So ये जो firewood है, this fuel, this is nothing but wood which is produced in the plants. So people are dependent upon this for their daily requirement. Correct? If they don't even use this, it will help in the formation of fossil fuels, which can be used many years later. So that is again because of biodiversity. Right? See this. You know what is the meaning of timber? Commercially important wood which is having good strength and physical property. उसको बोलते हैं timber. So there are lots of such tree species from which you get very good quality timber. You must have heard about teak wood, right? Rosewood, even the wood obtained from peepal tree, banyan tree, mango tree. Okay, you have shisham, right? And many of the gymnosperms like pinus ka wood hai. All such woody species have got very good strength and they are used for timber purposes. So it is obtained again from the nature. That is because of biodiversity. Wood is something which is prepared by the plants itself and it has got very good strength in it. Correct? That is another importance. There is something called nature tourism. Do you know what is that? Like after a very hectic routine, considering keeping aside the COVID-19 part, if there is a normal situation going on, and if you and your family plan for a vacation, you like to visit places having natural beauty. If given a choice, you will prefer to go to a hill station, having a good weather. So nature tourism हम पसंद करते हैं. Correct? Sometimes you might get to see wildlife, wild animals in the wild. उसका मजा ही अलग है देखने का. Rather than seeing them in a zoo. Correct? Then this is a place which is called as Living Root Bridge. ये इंडिया में है. This is one of the very unique structures which you get in Meghalaya state in India. That's called as a Living Root Bridge. एकदम अलग ही जगह है वो. Okay? If you walk across in a forest area, you can get that rich experience. उसका मजा अलग है. Correct? And sometimes these animal safaris, jungle safaris and all are there. So that becomes a tourism. So you experience wildlife and nature. You see animal behavior in the wild. And at the same time, wherever you go, you are paying for it. So you are adding to the economy of that place. So that becomes a very important affair in both the ways. Economy को भी ऐड करते हैं, knowledge भी बढ़ाते हैं. Okay, nature tourism. तो ये biodiversity preserved है, इसलिए nature tourism चल सकता है. Correct? Next, essential ecosystem benefits. Because there is diversity, soil formation becomes possible. There are microorganisms in the soil which decompose the organic matter and they add to the soil formation. Plants के roots हैं जो soil में penetrate करते हैं. They break open the rocks and add to the soil. They reduce the salt content in the soil. There is something called biogeochemical cycling which takes place. Oxygen cycle, carbon cycle, nitrogen cycle, phosphorus cycle, right? So all those ecosystem benefits take place because of biodiversity. Other ecological process like gaseous balance, because there are plants, they do something called photosynthesis. That's the only process because of which there is oxygen given out in the air. There's no other natural process by which you can release oxygen. And because of that, the amount of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the air is balanced. Okay. Groundwater is a very important component of the earth. उसका level बढ़ाए रखना जरूरी है. Otherwise, if the groundwater is depleted, growth of the plants will be affected. Soil erosion must be reduced. जहाँ पे plants cut कर रहे हैं, you know very well how the landslides are taking place. Recently, lots of landslides took place in India, like in Himachal Pradesh, Maharashtra, and all. Why it happened? Because many plants were removed. Biodiversity पे असर पड़ा. Getting it? So they play a very important role in all these processes. Okay. Next. See this. Biodiversity also has got lots of values associated with our cultures. Right now, a big festival is going on, which is ending tomorrow, I suppose. Correct? Ganesh Chaturthi. So in our culture, we give importance to elephant god. And that's why we worship that animal. Correct? So in the name of a god, we are preserving or we are protecting that animal. So cultural value ho gaya. Correct? Similarly, you know this kind of a festival. The women, they tie thread around the bark of a tree. Practiced in India. This is done by married women. It's a peepal tree. So we consider peepal tree as a sacred one. We don't cause harm to the tree. Okay, so in the name of culture, in the name of spirituality, we are protecting animals and plants. Tulsi plant, you know very well. It has got a lot of significance in our culture. If you visit South Indian temples and all, you tirtha jo dete, tulsi ka pani hota. Correct? And that is very pure. You have it, you feel very refreshed from inside. So tulsi plant has got that property. It is nothing but secondary metabolites. But we are associated with it culturally. Okay, we have been over a period of years and all, we have been worshipping plants and animals for some of the other reasons. So there is no commenting upon the belief or something, but ultimately importance is that biodiversity is preserved. We have that significance. Correct? Aesthetics. Aesthetic ka matlab hai natural beauty. So nature is full of colors and shades. The flowers, the trees, the fresh leaves, the young leaves, the dry leaves, the different shades of green, the color patterns and formations on the insects, the birds and the flowers. They form a part of the natural beauty. Correct? So we should be admiring that beauty. Nature has given us the eyes to admire that. So at least for their beauty, we should be protecting them. Correct? If at all you, like there's this place in India called the Valley of Flowers, which is in Uttarakhand. Pura valley hai wo, and there are natural pura carpet of flowers. Imagine if you're standing at a place and you're observing this valley. How will you feel? You won't blink your eyes. Itna zabardast natural beauty. So that aesthetics must be preserved. If such species go extinct, it will be a great loss. Correct? Then next one, the last 2 points. You know what are these?
Yes, bell pepper.
The bell pepper, the capsicum, and the red and the yellow capsicum, which are not naturally present. The natural one is green capsicum. These are the ones which are artificially created. So using the biodiversity of the wild, we can produce artificially new species also by hybridization, plant breeding experiments, micropropagation, somatic hybridization, so many processes are there. And we can create new species according to our desired properties. So जैसे अपने seedless grapes हैं, right? Different breeds of dogs, different colors of the roses. Natural one is red, but हमने अलग-अलग colors बना दिए. Because different colors of roses depict our different emotions. Getting it? So like that, we have produced all this using the wild biodiversity. Okay. And the last one is genetic diversity, which is very important. Okay. Ultimately, plants and animals growing in the wild have their own hardiness and vigor. Their genes are exposed to the environment, and to that environment they adapt and they survive. Getting it? Okay, they adapt and they survive. Okay, so that is the reason they are able to be very strong and they are able to face the environment. Their next generations are also better enough. See the different varieties of mangoes. We are all aware about so many varieties, है ना? हापुस है, दशहरी है, लांगड़ा, बैगनपल्ली, right? And thousands of varieties of mangoes we have in our country. Bananas में कितने varieties है देखो. That small one, the green one, the जो केरला में बड़ा वाला मिलता है वो. Getting it? So all these varieties are what generated in the nature. Rice, chawal, कितने varieties है देखो. Right? We have that basmati rice, which is long green one. We have smaller ones. Okay. Any grocery store you visit, grains देखना कितने types के मिलते हैं. That is biodiversity. See this, the different types of bananas. Yeah, genetic diversity. Is that clear? Okay. So the different important points with respect to significance of biodiversity is clear, everyone? Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
talking about the definition, the concept, the importance of the biodiversity we have discussed. The next thing that we should know is about the different levels of biodiversity. Okay. Levels means when you talk about biodiversity, it is categorized into 3 different levels. Okay. See, biodiversity at the lowest level can be at the genetic diversity. Okay. Genetic diversity means the biodiversity produced due to differences in their genes or the DNA. Okay, it refers to variations in the individuals of a species attributed to difference in their genes. So it's like imagine among human beings. Okay, compare a person from China, a person from India, and a person from Africa. They are all human beings, same species, but still so different. That is genetic diversity. Within India also, you compare a person from Tamil Nadu and a person from Meghalaya and a person from Punjab. Lots of differences between them. That is genetic diversity. Getting it? Similarly, there is at the highest level called ecosystem diversity. Okay, ecosystem diversity means between different ecosystems. So organisms in the deserts will be much different from organisms in the grasslands or in the tropical forest. It's like in the deserts, you get camels. In the snow-capped regions, you get polar bears. They are much different. You compare the fishes which are found in rivers and the fishes which are found in the deep seas. Ecosystems are different. That is called ecosystem diversity, which is the highest level of diversity. And the most commonly known one is the species diversity, also called organismal diversity. So in between different species, there is diversity. Understood this?
Yes.
The three levels of diversity is clear properly. Fine. Okay. Now, one more concept we'll quickly discuss. That is something called sacred groves. सुना है इसके बारे में? First time you are listening? Okay. See, whenever you say the word sacred, it means something associated with God. Okay. So there are many places in India and in maybe in other countries also where a particular forest area is considered or believed by the local people that this forest is inhabited by a particular god or a goddess. So because they are scared of the god, they protect the forest. They don't cause harm to it. So इस तरह का जो forest होता है where local people themselves protect it because of their fear of the divine. Such areas are protected by very nicely by them. They don't even harm, they don't even disturb the fallen leaves and anything in them. जैसा है वैसे ही protect करते हैं. Such patches are called sacred groves. They are totally undisturbed. Okay, and if anybody is found to violate the rules, the local villages themselves punish them. So government don't have to worry about these places because there are some people who may not be afraid of the law, but they are afraid of God. So the belief cannot be challenged, but ultimate result is good. Biodiversity is protected. So we have lots of such biodiversity in various parts of the country, and in some places, the local people, when they set the rules, they are themselves very strict that even the fallen dry leaves, nothing should be picked up. No activity at all, completely undisturbed. Okay, so sometimes it's like there are wild animals which are found, there are endangered species which are found, it is rich in medicinal plants, there are ponds and streams over there. So it becomes a complete healthy ecosystem because no human being is disturbing such places. Usko sacred groves. Okay, so this kind of protection becomes very good for the biodiversity. Okay, so there are sometimes very old and magnificent tree species growing in such places. They add to the beauty of the nature and nobody touches them. So sacred groves में ऐसा सब देखने को मिलेगा. There would be old and magnificent specimens of trees and climbers. Okay, and that's why sacred groves are said to be a meaningful fusion of religion and ecology both. Getting it? It is not that the superstitious beliefs of something are being promoted over here. There is no comment upon that. But the result is correct. They protect the plants and animals. That's what they are doing. Right? See this. There is one example of a sacred grove in Maharashtra in Srivardhan Taluka. There is this plant called as Garbi, Entada phaseoloides. Okay, it is a woody climber like this. It's very rare, very rare. This is the only individual you will find at a distance of around radius around 40 kilometers. No other individual is found. It has got very good medicinal property. See the pods, huge pods having the seeds. That is found in the sacred grove in this region. Because of which such a rare plant is protected and this species doesn't go extinct. So it's a good thing. So this example you can go through. Right? Similarly, in India, across all the states and union territories, you have lots of sacred groves, but the largest sacred grove in India is in Uttarakhand, which is dedicated to Haryali Devi. The local people believe that it's in Chamoli district of Uttarakhand. So there is a temple dedicated to the goddess, and that place is the largest area-wise. Okay, remember this. And in India, all across India, you can see lots of sacred groves are there. So we are having around 14,000 to 1,50,000 sacred groves all over India. Some of them are very small, some of them are large areas. If you see this map, you will come to know places like Himachal Pradesh has got around 5,000 sacred groves. Maharashtra 2,837, Kerala 2,000. Okay, so some states are there where the number of this one sacred groves are very high, and all the places the sacred groves and the gods and goddesses associated are having their own local names. They are known by their own names. जैसे महाराष्ट्र में north में Himachal Pradesh में it is called as Devbhoomi. Okay, in Pondicherry, Puducherry, it is called Kovilikadu. Same in Tamil Nadu. Okay, you can have Kerala में सर्पकवु करके बोलते हैं. So there are different names given in different places. Andhra Pradesh में पवित्र क्षेत्रलु. Northeast region has got their own names. So local people call them by their own name. That doesn't matter also. Okay, you can go through these examples. This is one sacred tree in Orissa. It's a sal tree, very commonly found in the forest over there, and the local people, they protect it. Shoria robusta. You can see this tree, approximate age is around 340 years. Very old tree. So the people protect it. Okay, this is in the Western Ghats. This is at Meghalaya, Mawphlung Sacred Grove, and this is the Sacred Kavu Grove in Kerala. Okay, so they protect in some or the other way. Is it clear? The concept of
Yes.
sacred grove. Okay. Okay.